Every day felt like a holiday time working with this cast,
Aw.
especially Victoria.
Yeah, that's I was going to say that. That's what I was going to say.
What? Why with me?
I don't know. I had a secret crush on you.
No, I did not know that. These things are coming out 20 years later. I just keep hearing new student body secrets.
Did you grow up in Canada? Were you alive in the 90s? Did you love YTV? Fuck yeah, you did! Welcome back to the show that gives Canadian 90s nostalgia the respect it deserves.
Guys, welcome to You, Me, and YTV special episode today. We're using the power of the internet to unite the great cast of student bodies. And we have Mick, Ross, and Victoria, also known as Victor, Chris, and Grace.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Oi, you wanna talk miracles? 8 days! The oil burned for 8 whole days!
Mick, what do you think about Christmas and Hanukkah happening on the same time of year this year?
It's good. It's convenient. Usually with Hanukkah, people say, oh, it's early this year or it's late this year or something. But this year it's right on time. It's the first time it's right on time.
How about you, Ross? What's your plans this year?
I'm going to spend time with family, and one memory, if you want to bring in the student bodies thing.
Of course I do.
I actually went to synagogue with Jamie Ellman. I don't know if you remember this, Nick.
Yeah.
He invited me. It was around Hanukkah. I don't know when it was that year, but I went, and it was quite the experience. And
Sing in the choir.
what? That's right. Yes.
Jamie was in the choir at the Shar in Montreal, and so we went to see him one time. It was pretty epic.
And Victoria, you're a young mother. What's your Christmas plans, man?
Oh, family, and I'm going to try to get away. I've been working really, really hard lately, so I need a break, and I think I'm going to take my daughter to some beach somewhere right after Christmas.
That's not what I meant, Cody.
Mick?
Yeah, no, I've got my hands full with 2 boys, so we celebrate Hanukkah. We've already had one Hanukkah party earlier this week. We have another one coming up this weekend, so they're in present.
Yeah, you guys party all the time. I wish I was Jewish.
Yeah, we try to pack in as much celebration as we can. So, and then over the holidays, we'll be heading up to Collingwood, which is just a couple hours north of Toronto, and we'll be hopefully doing some skiing. So that's our plan for the holiday if we get blessed with some awesome snow.
You will be blessed with snow, Mick. I can tell you.
Yeah, see, gotta ask the right guy. I was telling them earlier, Ross, that when I was in a bind on my last show, that I texted you directly for the weather report in Hamilton because I needed to know whether we should cancel our shoot or not.
I hope that worked out.
It did. We totally made the right decision.
I'll keep that in mind, too, when I'm producing.
Yeah, sure. Just feel free.
Good to have a direct line.
Sorry, guys. Looks like we're snowed in.
All right, guys. So, all your fans want to know. They want to talk about, of course, some student body stuff. I'm glad we talked about the personal stuff. But let's get into the member berries of this all. All right. So, you guys had like one Christmas episode or holiday episode.
Get real, Mags. There's no such thing as a Christmas miracle.
Hold on. Maybe we can do something. Look, the school needs money, right? Let's get some money.
Wait, legally, Chris.
Yeah, we could have a raffle.
And a concert.
That's not a bad idea. We can use the gym, Romeo and the Juliets could open, and I'll find us a big-name talent to headline the show.
Excuse me, Chris, but I think I'm better connected to get us some real talent.
Who is the musical guest that you claimed you could get?
I'd like to speak to Michael Jackson, please. Oh, he's not. Well, then is Janet there?
Yes, is this Tony Braxton? Great. My name is Victor Kane. I got your number from my Uncle Edward. Edward Kane, Esquire. I believe he sued you in a property dispute last summer. I got quite a settlement, I might add. Hello?
Oh my
Tony.
God, Robert Goulet, I think? Was that it?
It could have been Robert Goulet.
Yes, is this Sting? Well, you don't know me, but you and my aunt go to the same dry cleaner, and I thought that... Hello?
No, it was Tony Bennett. Yeah, I think it was Tony Bennett.
Did you just say Bennett? As in Tony Bennett? Oh, you've heard of him? If you have Tony Bennett, you have yourself a stage.
That episode was kind of unique because it was the first time you saw like the musical element of student bodies.
Well, we don't have any choice. We'll have to give them all refunds.
Then we'll be right back where we started.
Look, we don't need Tony. We got a band right here. I say we go on. I mean, I can play the bass. Cody can play the keyboards, and Mags can sing.
And Victor plays the guitar.
Huh?
What?
Nothing. It's just kind of hard to picture, that's all.
That music was basically me pretending to play the guitar, Mark Baylor pretending to play the bass, and Michelle Sweeney singing her butt off.
Wait, I was in that show.
Oh, okay. Good.
Wasn't I dressed up like a Christmas tree?
I got the Christmas blues, baby. I got the Edison High School blues. I said I got the Christmas blues, baby. I got the Edison High School budget cut blues. Y'all can ask for your money back, baby, but the show music department you're gonna lose.
Maybe I'm confusing them because I was in some like when Jamie played and when Katie sang. And
this is
maybe
one where Michelle got up on stage and sang the Edison High blues.
So why don't you quit all your whining? 'Cause life just ain't fair. It's holiday time, baby, and there's magic in the air. I got the Christmas blues, baby. I got the Edison High School blues.
Because we used to go see Michelle Sweeney play at nightclubs and stuff.
Wax Lounge.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a fun place. I can't believe it closed down. That was the best. It was like one of the best places in Montreal. I don't know why they closed it.
And at that time, there was this real jazz renaissance happening. A sort of like acid jazzy music was being played everywhere. And Montreal's always been this amazing jazz scene anyway. So we would go and see Michelle sing jazz and the blues and all of that stuff. And she was just this superstar. And of course, there was never an opportunity for Principal Morton to play that on the show. And then this episode, actually, it worked out really nice because she was set up as the villain in the episode who was trying to take all of the resources away from the school and remove any funding that student bodies and the student voice had.
School board memo. There are going to be more budget cuts, and they're thinking of losing one of the school papers.
Where'd you get this?
Let's just say it fell off Morton's desk.
Victor? The memo doesn't say which paper's going to be cut. Could be the voice.
Well, why would they lose the voice when they could get rid of student bodies instead?
Maybe they'll shut them both down. Save twice as much money.
Oh?
Well, that's depressing.
So we all banded together to try to raise money, and that's what Tony Bennett was going to come in for, to put on a concert and raise some money.
It was one of the first times where you saw the people from Student Bodies and the Student Voice actually band together. And isn't that the oldest story in time, when two enemies have to come together because a worse threat is coming together? It was like the Avengers. Yeah, pretty much.
Truce?
Victor, be nice. It's Christmas time.
Truce. Just for the holidays.
Unlike Nick, I didn't do my homework, so I think I'm getting the Christmas episode and New Year's Eve kind of mixed up here, right? Because there was a New Year's Eve episode as well, right?
Yeah.
The New Year's Eve episode was one of my favorite all-time episodes.
Right.
That was because I always love the ones where we all got together.
Yes. And I remember there's the Photoshop scenes in the New Year's Eve episode, right? Is there not?
The New Year's episode is like we were all going to some New Year's party together, and Romeo was trying to hit the schedule the whole time, and everybody was delaying him. And it was I thought it was a very funny episode. And then there was a lot of kissing in the last scene, which was good. You did some of that, Ross, if I recall.
Yeah,
I did. Yes, and I think who did you end up kissing in that episode?
one of the few Flash Victor makeout moments.
And there was another one. One of them was for money, and one of them was for out of pity. So there wasn't any genuine romance between the two. So Victoria, I remember like you were coincidentally out of town in the New Year's episode. That was in season 2, and he was. I have to go call Grace. He's conveniently out of town.
Hello. Yeah, I want to talk to Grace. Grace Vasquez.
There was a nice little emotional thing though. He was like super sad that they couldn't reach Victoria. He was trying to speak Spanish on the phone. It was terrible.
Oh my god!
It was like "Donde está Grace" or something. I don't know what he was trying to say, but
I missed you guys terribly. I really did.
Oh man. Donde está Grace? No. Please don't.
We knew each other before Student Bodies, didn't we?
Kids in Action.
That's right.
Kids in Action. Did you see my interview? I speak about that in the interview.
Yeah, that's true.
I speak about you and Kids in Action and stuff. Yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet. I will have to watch.
You were one of the people we looked up to in Kids in Action, because you were one of the veterans, and I came in later, and I was like, oh, we have Ross. He's been in West Side Story and Bye Bye Birdie and all these awesome plays, and you were kind of shy.
I was. Still am.
I knew Ross before the show as well through Natalie, because Natalie was my agent as well, right? So even though I never did Kids in Action, I knew, and I had this exact same feeling towards Ross. Totally looked up to him. He was a big veteran.
You're making him blush.
No, but it's completely true. It's completely true. Very intimidating when you're in an audition room with Ross there. You're like, oh, fuck. I mean, sorry, I don't know if I guess.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you never wanted to be in the audition room with Ross because you just figured he's got the job.
Well, thank you, Nick. But I think you landed some stuff that we both auditioned for, so it all worked out in the end.
The funny thing with Student Bodies is we all landed it, and nobody knew which characters we were going to play.
Really?
Right. It's true.
Or how it would turn out. Yeah, I mean, it took such a journey, that whole show.
Yeah, really.
We spoke about it in the interviews, but how it was so comical and childish at first, and over the top to then suddenly becoming this dramatic series. It was really interesting, the whole process.
You definitely have to say, when you watch a series like out of context, like if you watch an episode here and there and not chronologically, if you go from an episode of you guys making goop to Meg wants breast implants, it's pretty crazy when you.
Yeah.
I think goop was kind of the potential jump the shark moment for the way the show was. I think Nick is nodding there, so he's agreeing with me.
So, how's it coming, Einsteins? Any breakthroughs?
The closest we got was 2 batches ago. It was nearly identical.
Great. Then you've almost got it. Not exactly. Stuff ate a hole through the floor. That's not good.
Well, actually, that's not bad. We're right over the girls' locker room.
After that episode, especially as we headed into after the first 26, as we headed in past that, that was the end of the first 13, wasn't it?
That was still in the first season, but it was clear to all of us, and I think it became clear to the writers that just wasn't the show we were going to make. We were older. Our audience was turning out to be a little bit older. The writers wanted
because of when it played too. It would play at 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Yeah. So I mean, it was one of those things where I think once we did that episode, we didn't really go back into that sort of tone very often after that. Instead, we started pushing boundaries, to the point where you can't air Student Bodies on a kids network today.
Yeah.
You would never see it on YTV today.
Well, we're going to call little Victor a cab because you're not driving tonight.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Newsflash, you're drunk.
No, I'm not. You're just over-exaggerating because of that little problem in your family.
What?
It's a beautiful thing to see you guys actually 20 years later smile as you see each other.
Aw, I agree. And I think if we don't end up being able to do a 20-year reunion of the show, I think we should at least have one ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. And
you'll be invited for sure.
Yeah, I'll hold a light or something.
You can film it.
Yeah.
We could do our own little thing.
That's true.
It's 20 years. We have to.
So summer 2017, we're doing it. Okay, what if the show ends up, something happens and someone wants to put in a bunch of money in creating a reunion, fine, But if not, let's do it and let's just film it live.
Your place?
Nice.
Yeah. Party at Victoria's.
Party at Victoria's.
I'm not as wild as I used to be. Unfortunately, I gotta.
Let's have some stories about Wild Victoria, guys. Mick, Ross, you got any stories about?
No.
We all looked up to Victoria for a whole other set of reasons. Victoria, for us innocent kids coming from Ontario, she opened up the nightlife to us in Montreal.
I had connections. I had some hookups.
But Ryan, I think what you're talking about is a function of the fact that was probably for me anyway, it was like one of the most fun times in my life. So
yeah.
Obviously as soon as I see these guys, it brings back a gush of warm, fun memories. Nothing negative at all positive and fun. A lot of us came from Ontario, and so we were, spending a lot of time out of work with each other because we were our friends, we were kind of our family while we were there. And then it just became like a really tight group. And 20 years later, it's still tight. We still chat. It's always good feelings when we see each other.
Yeah.
And I've worked on lots of other shows, and I haven't had a similar experience, or at least nothing quite the same. It was a special situation.
Definitely. I agree.
Ross doesn't agree, apparently.
No, I do. I'm just trying to think of. I was going to say, it was kind of the in terms of all of us, we were coming together at this one time, and I think we were all in similar circumstances. I mean, it wasn't as if it was our first job for everyone. I know Victoria had worked a lot prior, right? I mean, we had worked. It was just a special coming together of. And maybe it was the environment we were in as well. I mean, we were
in high school, yeah.
They basically. I mean, you know this, Ryan. We've talked about this before. They had a school that wasn't being used as school anymore, and then they decided to build these sets within the school. There never was, when we started the show, the sense that there's no star system within the show. It was kind of a team effort, and yeah, I guess it kind of hopefully I think it did translate on the show, and you can see it still.
You guys went to a place Victor recommended.
Best bands you've ever heard. You, my friend, are on the cutting edge.
Yeah, you one of us now.
Yeah, I'll try to contain my excitement. And how was the big girls' night out?
Guys, what was your first impression of Mick when he, when you first met him and stuff like that? I definitely want to know this.
For me, it's funny because he was supposed to play kind of the villain, but he was so sweet and funny and charming, and I was like, how's this guy going to play the bad guy?
Not very well, apparently.
Very well, and then suddenly, you put on the act. It was great. No, just really, really nice person right off the bat. I think it was like that with most of the people on the show, but Mick, you had a real kindness about you at that time. I don't know about now. No, I'm kidding.
There is an interesting story. Mick and I almost got in a bit of a conflict over a particular cast member when we first hung out.
Okay.
No, it was just
Don't dangle candy in front of my face and don't give me any.
It was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding. Basically, I'd driven to Montreal. I was dating Katie at the time. Okay, so we'd driven to Montreal to shoot the pilot or audition for the pilot or something like that. And we were driving back to Toronto, and Mick wanted a ride. And I guess Mick didn't know that Katie and I were together. No idea. So he saw, as you were driving, I think Katie put her hand on my lap or whatever.
You put your hand on Katie.
Okay, I put my hand on Katie's lap. And
my God, I can't believe it.
I guess he thought maybe, him and Katie had a future that way. But he did get
defending her honor. I was just trying to defend her honor. I thought you were putting the moves on her on the way home, and I was in the back seat watching it all happen.
That's hilarious.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy from Kids in Action. Thinks he could just go and creep on chicks.
Turns out they were dating the whole time, but the thing is, I think they were in a fight because she was kind of pissed at him. So I don't know.
We were in a fight.
Always pissed at him.
Yeah, she was always kind of pissed.
Max and Chris are in a fight, huh? Gee, that's too bad.
What? Oh, that. It'll blow over.
You think so? Because personally, I never thought they were good for each other.
What makes you say that?
Well, Max needs someone who can take care of her. Someone who understands her.
Someone like you?
Oh, maybe, yes.
Besides the synagogue story with Jamie singing, did you guys spend any other holidays together when you were a cast?
We did have a Christmas party one year, I think. It was the end of the first 26. Didn't we end in like November or something? November, December. Didn't we all go up? I know we went up to Jamie's cottage one winter, but one summer. Didn't we go up in the winter once as well?
That time when we all went up to Jamie's cottage in the summer was
oh my God.
very, very important, big bonding experience for all of us. That was not a holiday or anything. It was a weekend up in the Laurentians, and it was awesome. It was awesome. We had a blast.
That's a whole other episode, Ryan.
Yeah.
I do remember we at a Christmas party, we did have like some bloopers. They made a blooper reel that they at a Christmas party one time. Yeah. So I do absolutely remember us having a Christmas party and screening some of those bloopers. And
we weren't allowed a lot of bloopers during the shooting of our show because of the timelines, and a lot of the time it was lost in translation as well because a lot of the crew members didn't even speak English, so a lot of our jokes didn't really translate. I think things eventually loosened up a little bit, though.
We didn't have a live audience, so we never knew if our jokes were funny because the crew never laughed at anything. Sometimes our directors would laugh, but mostly what we would do is just try to crack each other up. And if we succeeded in ruining the take and cracking each other up, then we knew we were being funny, and so then we would just try to do it again.
You know, at some point, I got to get Mick, Ross, Mark, and Jamie in on one of these calls because you guys go on these annual road trips. It's actually quite amazing. I was talking about the camaraderie. After all these years, it's really crazy to see you guys have comparative photos each year. The four of you still hanging out. To an audience member like me, that's what we all wanted to see. The student body's friends were actually real friends and stuff.
Yes, absolutely. We were all friends back then. But, we all have spread apart, and some of us live in Toronto, Montreal, LA. But Jamie, in a way, is the kind of the glue that seems to hold us all together. Jamie travels. He lives in LA. His home is in Toronto, is in Montreal, and he travels to Toronto a lot. And wherever Jamie goes, we sort of follow. So it seems like he may have been a little bit cool and everything as a character as Cody, but he really is the one that keeps bringing us all together.
All right, guys. Well, I think everyone's got to go, but thanks so much for all getting together. The holidays is about bringing people together. That's exactly what we did today. We didn't talk about Christmas the whole time, but every time you guys talk to each other about anything, I'm like, and then what happened? It's like, hey, remember that time I sneezed? It's like, yeah, let's do that. So,
and thank you.
How ceremonious was that?
Thank you, Ryan, for bringing us together and for bringing all these amazing memories back to us, even when you're doing the interviews and putting all these clips of the shows, things that I had completely forgotten about. It was really heartwarming, and I really, really appreciate what you're doing. I think it's great what you're doing, and I hope you keep going, and I hope we can give you more.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for your passion, Ryan. You definitely... what you bring in terms of the interviews and the questions, and we can tell you're a big fan, but I think it really helps other people too that have a passion for the show to answer some of the questions, and so we appreciate it.
A big thank you to Ross. Ross, without you, this project wouldn't exist because, when I said I have to... A big thank you to Ross. Ross, without you, this project wouldn't exist because, when I said I have to start Yumi and YTV, I'm like, I need that Kids in Action guy. That's what I need. Because if I get the Kids in Action guy, the other dominoes will fall into place.
Well, this was great to talk to you, Ryan, but it was really special to see Victoria, to be able to talk to Victoria and Nick as well. It just reminds me that we do need to try to get together at some point for the 20th anniversary if we can. I know we all have busy schedules and kids and all that stuff, but I think it would be special.
But it's been great, and I do have to run off.
All right.
But happy holidays.
All right, bye, Victoria. Have a great
Happy
day.
holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a happy Hanukkah. Cute couple, huh? Ugh, I hate when that happens.
Don't forget to subscribe, share, and tell all your friends that 90s nostalgia is still alive on You, Me, and YTV. Go Canada.
No, look, I guess I admit that when I lived with Jess, I was something of a douchebag. Wait, here we go. You know what, Jess? You know what? Let's settle this once and